what's going on, guys? So, I know this video is not going to be in the greatest quality because I'm doing this off my phone, so the camera's going to be a little weird, and so is the audio. Not to mention, I just woke up, so I wanted to get this video out probably last night after the game, probably before midnight, but unfortunately, I was feeling a little nauseous, and it could have been two things. It could have been two things. It could have been A, the fish didn't agree with me, or B, my whole insides were just sick of watching the Yankees, or at least for that performance. I know that wasn't a very well thought out explanation, but it is what it is. So, I know it's one game, so don't give me that. I know we have 162 games, don't give me that. There were so many games leading up to this one that they should have lost. Right. Some of the games against Boston, some of the games against Toronto. I'm not going to go too much into it. But to lose to the fucking Orioles, who had one win, and they played 6 games coming into the game. So they were 1-5. And then they win in extra innings against the Yankees. That is absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. After what the offense did, was inconsistent, the first 2 series, you're expecting some sort of blowout. You're expecting some sort of sweep. That didn't happen. Sweep's not happening because, the Yankees, lost in extra innings. And it's just silly the way this game went. They scored in the 3rd inning and didn't score for the rest of the game. The Yankees were 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Only one of those scored a run. The other one was probably, a thing that moved the runner to third or something like that. I don't know. I feel very horrible for Jordan Montgomery. He went 5 innings. No one gave him support. I think I'm going to feel bad for the whole pitching staff in general. I'm not going to blame too much on Aroldis Chapman. Like, I thought it was silly that they brought him in. Maybe you should have brought Clay Holmes in. But they pitched him 2 straight days, and the day before that, he struggled mightily against the Blue Jays. He had one of those days he's doing the thing again. But they put Schmidt in there in the bottom half. And then they brought Chapman in when Schmidt was struggling and no one could get it done. But I'm not blaming this on pitching. I'm blaming this on hitting. To point out who probably did the worst in the lineup, you had a total of 7 hits for the game. Total had 7 hits. Giancarlo Stanton probably did the best. He had the RBI. He had 2 strikeouts, though. He was 3 for 5, so he was by far the best hitter in the lineup. Anthony Rizzo leading off, he was 0 for 4. Right now, he's hitting .214. Remember the start he got off to? It's not there right now. It's not there right now for him. Horrible error on the base pass. This team, I believe, just lacks fundamentals or something. And I understand incidents happen, whether it's a line drive, but that's a ground ball. Either stop right there and run, or just try to run past it. It was a ground ball that hit him, and it's an automatic out. And guess what? I think that was the top of the 11th. So with that being said, your runner on second is wasted. Then Josh Donaldson comes up a few batters later, strikes out. Donaldson sucks. I'm going to put it bluntly. Donaldson sucks right now. His at-bats aren't good. I don't know what this obsession is, putting him at, first in the lineup, third in the lineup. I don't know what analytic tells the Yankees that's a fucking good idea, because it's not a good idea. This team cannot score runs for their life. And if you guys watched the Dead Red podcast, I talked about how the Orioles pitching was kind of a flip-flop, but they're better than expected. And let me say this, they're not that good to, for the Yankees to only score 1 run. Say that right now. Hicks, he had a walk, but it was 0 for 3. So are we going back to the old Hicks now? Was it just 1 game? I don't know. Gleyber Torres, I mean, what the hell happened there, right? Some of his at-bats are just terrible. Uh, Usually Camden Yards is where he goes off, but I guess not, right? LeMahieu is 1 for 4. I mean, once again, that's better than some of the other guys in the lineup. That's better than a leadoff hitter. That is better than the leadoff hitter, which is sad, but we know who should be the leadoff hitter by now, right? Kiner Falefa, I mean, 2 strikeouts, 0 for 3, just terrible, just terrible. I mean, he had that one good game, I think it was a few days ago, gives the Blue Jays the series wrap-up. Just terrible, man. We can't hit. And I don't understand. Now, Kyle Yoshioka did go 1 for 3 and scored a run. So I'll give him credit for that. But I don't know why you're fucking starting Higashioka when Trevino literally put on a show against the Blue Jays in the series finale. He had 2 hits, or at least was like 2 for 3, 2 for 4, something like that. Better than what Higashioka is at the plate. Higashioka is batting .095. So I don't understand the reasons of these analytics that tell everybody in the Yankees front office, oh, well, we can't keep a guy, on a hot streak. We have to put ice on him, which is one of the stupidest things ever. And the problem is that the Yankees beat media. The Brendan Cunties, as Pete Simonetti calls him, but Brandon Cootie, Lindsey Adler, where are the questions? I didn't watch Boone's press conference after the game last night. I could not fathom that. I think I would have thrown up if I had watched that because I can't. I cannot watch that. His press conference is very dull. He's, we all know who Aaron Boone is and how he acts. And I just find it strange as well that, we were told to buy the goods on Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, that people were predicting him to be a 300 hitter and this, that, and the other thing, right? OPS. I'm not big into that. But it really shows something when you pinch hit for your starting shortstop. Marwin Gonzalez came into the game in the last 2 innings. He pinch hit for Higashioka. Trevino came in the game for Judge, who pinch hit for Kiner-Falefa. Not to mention you actually sat Judge as well. So, I don't understand that at all. And I'm actually surprised, everyone. I'm actually surprised. Because I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, oh my god, the Yankees actually did something right in this game. They played Stanton the full game. In right field. Now, do that against, better teams like Toronto, Boston, Tampa Bay, all these other teams, and maybe I won't get mad at you so much for that. Because why isn't he in the outfield? And let me tell you guys something. This guy went 1 for 5. This guy fucking sucks, okay? I've been calling it since he was traded here that he was not going to be good in New York. Texas is a different story. And shout-outs to Sean, who you guys rarely see anymore. He's got a tough work schedule. Former member of the Boys in Big Apple podcast. Maybe we'll try to get him on at some point if he's available. But with that being said, on one of the podcasts, he made a controversial statement. Now, obviously, nobody picked it up because it's not like we get a ton of views. That Joey Gallo is an absolute bench player. He might be right on that. 1 for 5. You know the player you are, but you're not changing your approach. And it was the first time this season he hit against the shift. Why can't you do that more often? And it was with the third baseman actually on the left side of the infield. There's been times where Gallo's up at the plate with like an 0-1 count or a 2-1 count, and nobody's on the left side of the infield. Nobody. But he's not hitting as a shift. And let me say this for all of you geeks out there, because I listen to analytics in football. I kind of look at analytics in baseball. Not too much like football, though. Stop with this expected batting average crap. Stop. Please stop. Stop with the exit velocity, the launch angle, all that stuff. Why are you trying to make Joey Gallo a better player than he is? Yes, he's good defensively. I mean, to be honest, though, what impact has he made so far in these first, 8 games? What is the impact he has made? I don't see any impact defensively. I think he threw somebody out at home No, he threw somebody out at second. I think Jorge Mateo was actually thrown out at second. Former Yankee prospect, by the way. He threw Mateo out at second, which I don't know why Mateo was running. But that was the only defensive impact he's had on the season. Maybe he's made other great plays. But when your offense scores one run against the Baltimore Orioles, who are so bad, among one of the worst teams in the MLB, and you don't change your approach, you're fucking selfish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you can't even hit home runs, then discazia. Okay, I'll say Italian words, right? Because I'm partially Italian. Gallo's Italian. That's why a lot of people like him. You know what? After this game, I'm actually convinced he eats fucking egg noodles with ketchup. For those of you who know that's where that's from, go ahead and bust me on the reference. I'm just gonna say one last thing, and this is about the clown that runs this club, Aaron Boone. I understand some of y'all are very, very upset, or were very, very upset with some of the calls behind the plate by Tom Hallion. They were inconsistent. I'm going to be the first to say it. But we got to stop blaming the umpires for everything. There's other mistakes in the game that did not revolve around the umpires. Boone argued, I think, once or twice from the dugout. He said stuff. Then after the game, like when the walk happened, that my pitch tracks and all those other, strikeout boxes, the last pitch was not a strike. Trevino tried making it a strike, didn't happen. Trevino was upset that he didn't get the call, which is fair. I'm not going to sit here and blame Jose Trevino for arguing. Now, I will blame Aaron Boone for arguing, though, because you argued once, and you're being so passive-aggressive, it's not even funny. You're going out there and arguing with Tom Hallion, and some people question, why is Tom Hallion throwing him out after the game is over? Can we ask the question of why Boone's arguing after this game is over? Why is he trying to get ejected? Like, what does that show anybody? In game, you could try to fire up your ball club and make them score more runs, but you do it after the game. What is that? Why? It's another 24 hours until you play. Now, not from the end of the game, but it's 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock game. What momentum is carrying on? And how many players are going to feel that after a loss? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Being so passive-aggressive, then coming out at the end of the game and arguing about the shit calls, it's a total clown show. Like, I don't understand how you explain that passive-aggressiveness. But we'll see what happens in the next two games. If the Yankees don't win the next two games, or they win one of the next two games, I'm not going to be happy. I don't care, it's, solid start to the season and this, and that. Don't give me the fucking bullshit excuses. Please don't. Please don't give me the bullshit excuses. Because I'm going to rip you. It is what it is, If you're going to sit here and gaslight people, expect to have some people come after you because of what you're doing. But Brian Cashman did gaslight us so far, because this team's 4-4 right now. Unbelievable. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Make sure you sub up here, NY News TV. Help us out here with the algorithm, if I could say that correctly, algorithm a little bit. Make sure to like, do all the good stuff. Thanks to my loyal supporters. I know I was added on social media after this game by one of my new supporters, Tony Clark. He said, "Are you going to make a video on this? Or are you going to go live?" I said, "Yeah, I will make a video on this. I know it's a little late, but if I get it out before the 7 o'clock game, win-win." So that's my rant video. Yankees win the next two games, because if you don't win the next two games, or at least, how about this, at all? You don't win those next two games. I don't care if you win one, the first one, which is Saturday today, or the Sunday one. If you win one of those games, I'm still not going to be happy. You should not be losing to the Orioles, because we were 11-8 last year. You should be winning the next two games and carrying that momentum into Detroit. The Sox were given a tough time by Detroit, and they pulled out of that series. Now, they did lose to Joe Ryan, who got blown up on opening day. But my point is that the Tigers give teams a hard time. So if we struggle against the Orioles, it's not going to be a good series. It's not going to be a good series. And who remembers when we went to Comerica Park last year? Who remembers that, right? We tanked the series. We brought in Brooks Kriske and all these other guys, and we ended up getting swept. One of the lowest points of the season last year. Cut it off here. One of the worst baseball games I've ever watched. And it's not like the Orioles are this great team because they couldn't hit with runners in scoring position either. They were terrible swinging the bat, Cedric Mullins especially. So it is what it is. I'll try to put out more draft content. I know I've been saying that for the past few weeks, but I don't want to milk the mock drafts and say shit I don't know. I'm not saying other people are doing that. Don't twist my words, but only my second year fullest into the draft. I don't wanna say the wrong things about this type of player or that type of player. Whatever the case may be. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.